Hello everyone. Welcome back to another pick a card video. In this reading, we are going to be looking at your love life for the next 3 months. So you can watch this if you are already in a relationship or if you're single. And as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So today we have 1, 2, and 3. So take a moment, kind of meditate on them, see which one you think is kind of calling to you. And again, I always say if you are having a really hard time deciding, you may have messages in both piles or all 3 piles possibly. So definitely feel free to watch more than one, but just take a moment, and then once you've decided, you can go ahead and click the description and see what your reading is. All right, so group number 1, you chose the pink quartz, which is very appropriate for love. Let's see what your reading is going to be like. All right, so your first card is the 3 of Cups, which is very interesting. So this tells me that you are going to have some development emotionally, possibly. I think like you are developing yourself emotionally, but I think you might be developing with another person. I'm almost getting the sense that you are moving into like a new part of your life where you're kind of opening up and you're having some emotional development. And I'm also seeing that you kind of are more at peace with this than you have been in the past. It seems like maybe in the past you've been a little bit frustrated and you've tried to force things. And what I'm getting now is really that you're having quite a lot of contentment, a lot less anxiety, and you're kind of just like, you know what, when things happen, they're going to happen in the right timeline and all will be well. And I'm sensing that you've had quite a bit of anxiety about this in the past, and it has really consumed a lot of your mental energy. Oh, there's this one. And you're really just like letting things go up to chance. And you're like, you know what? It'll happen when it happens. I'm just going to enjoy my life and see where things take me. So I think group number 1, this already bodes really quite well for what's going to happen for the next 3 months in your love life. Oh my goodness. We just got 2 cards right there. All right. So we have pride and success. So you're really proud of yourself for the progress that you have made. And I feel like this progress is something that you kind of weren't thinking you were going to be able to make in such a short amount of time. But I think something happened in your life or someone came into your life and you're just a little bit more carefree now. Like you've kind of made enough progress, I keep coming up 2 at a time, that you've kind of stopped blaming yourself and kind of blaming others. I'm sensing that you had a relationship that you have just sort of moved on from. And that relationship, I think, caused you a lot of anxiety because you had to constantly wonder what this person was thinking. Yep, and we've got worry. So I think that worried you quite a bit. And I'm also sensing that although you've kind of reached this new place in life, you are sort of like, you kind of fall back into it a little bit. And you might kind of have some times where you're like, oh, is this like too good to be true? Am I really in kind of like a new place in life? Or like, am I going to fall back into those old ways of worry? And I'm sensing there was like some anger and resentment in that past relationship that has caused you to have to work through quite a bit. I'm sensing group number 1 that you may have been through quite a bit of therapy, or you've been talking to friends, and you've had to kind of, I'm almost sensing like switch your job situation in order to kind of even like just change your vibe, change your surroundings a little bit. Let's see if I can get some more information about this, because I want to know what your next 3 months are going to look like. Okay, yep, you're still on this journey a little bit. I can sense that you're still like slightly more introverted when it comes to things than you want to be. And I think like sometimes, I don't know, I'm really just getting like you kind of beat yourself up a little bit. Like it's very like one or the other. Like I'm almost sensing like you're in a really good place and you're like, yes, I've done this. Like I've made it. Or you're either like really worried and you're like, oh, this is never going to happen for me. Am I ever going to kind of get what I'm looking for and all of that? So it's kind of interesting, group number one, this dynamic that I feel like you have really made so much progress. And I think you should be proud of yourself. And in those moments where you're kind of worrying or you're blaming yourself or blaming others, just remember, oh, this one like really wanted to come out. Remember that you can trust yourself and trust your intuition, and you are leading yourself to your best life. And really just kind of like, I think sometimes, group number one, what I'm getting is you don't always love to trust yourself or trust that you've got this or let your true self shine. I think sometimes you have some anxiety about like, well, if I'm my true self, I'm never going to find love, because no one is ever going to like accept the situation that happened to me and what I've been through, and no one could possibly understand that. So you kind of like put on a facade, or you kind of, I sense that you're really good at reading the vibe. And so you put on kind of like almost different hats or different, like metaphorical hats, like you put on different, I don't know, just like versions of yourself to be whoever you are in the moment, if that makes sense. But in the next 3 months, I think that you are going to kind of come into your own even more. Like you've done a really good job. And I think, you know, you have gone back and forth, but I think you're going to see that even more. And it's going to really speed up soon here. Like it's going to get momentum. We've got 6 of Wands and 8 of Wands here, which really shows me that you are going to have kind of, it's so funny, like exactly what you've been wanting. You are going to see that. And I think it might feel like almost too good to be true yet again, but you're really going to see that. And you're also going to really be seeing that at work, I think. And then just interestingly enough, what I'm getting is like, it's like things are just going to work out. And I think that you, with this worry and anxiety that you've had, might feel like, oh my goodness, this is just like way too good to be true. Like, but just take a deep breath, trust in it, because these things are meant to happen for you. And you are going to see that recognition, and things are going to be going a lot better for you at work as well. Oh my goodness. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles. So pretty much everything that you have kind of been working for and that you've been hoping for is going to kind of just come to fruition here. Let's see what else you've got for you for your love life for the next 3 months. And I'm also wondering, just based on the fact that we've got this coming in pretty quickly and we've got some pentacles here, I am kind of wondering if you might meet this person at your new job or anything like that. And as always, if this is resonating, please let me know, because I always kind of like to know if, you know, as you're going through the reading, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so spot on, or, you know, as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We've got ambush your fear with ferocious dream. So I feel like these guys even really have that kind of expression too with our tattoo tarot cards, where it's like, and also I don't know why I felt like I really needed to use the tattoo deck for this one. So I don't know if you've been thinking about getting a tattoo, or you have like a meaningful tattoo of something that kind of helped heal you from this journey. I would love to hear that in the comments, just because I don't know, just felt like it was symbolic in this way. So anyway, we've got this elephant, and we've got ambush your fear with ferocious dream. So I think this is like, this with the 8 of Wands is truly like the go ahead. Like you have got this, and like you are ready for that dream to come to fruition. And what's funny is we have this gratitude again. So it's like, this also kind of has to do with like the cyclical nature with, I feel like, you know, you're growing, but we all have those times, and we kind of like lean back into our fears and our anxieties. And we're like, do we deserve this? Is this real? Is this too good to be true? So funny. Befriend the word polarize. So we were just talking about that back and forth, right? And it feels like you are very, like, this is a perfect word for what I've been talking about this whole reading, is like befriend the word polarize. So when you're kind of having that back and forth, lean into it. Don't let it give you so much anxiety. Just be like, yep, we're in this phase, and we're going to move forward. We also have bravely market your magic. So this is interesting too, because I think, again, you've been afraid to kind of like let yourself out and like truly be you. But again, you're kind of like, I think you will attract the right person into your life. I don't know why. I'm almost getting this pile. Might be single. If you're in a relationship, again, you can kind of take what resonates here. But I'm almost getting like you're trying to meet people, or you've met someone new and you're not sure if they are the person for you. But I think you really just need to be yourself, because you have your own very specific brand of magic here, and just like allow yourself to be you. And if you're not sure who that is, I think what you're doing is like you're exploring these things, like you're becoming kind of like a new version of yourself. So overall, group number 1, this is a really positive reading. Oh my gosh, we have another You Are Magic. Oh my gosh, this one just jumped straight out. Let's see. This one says change maker, make waves. So this one's interesting because you're kind of like, you got the Wheel of Fortune where things are kind of going your way or not, and you're kind of having those different anxieties and transitions. And if you are kind of afraid to do something that you have been thinking about but you're not really sure, make those waves. And it also could have to do with waves like, are you at the beach? Like, are you going to meet this person somewhere near water? Are they a water sign? Are you a water sign? Let's see. All right. So we've got 7 of Pentacles here, which really shows me that you have been manifesting and you've kind of been retreating. That's why I almost feel like you're either in like a no contact situation with this person that you're about to kind of reignite, or you're single or something like that, or you're just going to like kind of enter a new phase of your relationship where you're actually addressing things that have been bothering you, because it shows me that you've really been retreating and working on this spiritual growth. Again, this might be, you might meet this person at work. You've got a lot of Pentacles here, and we've got 3 of Cups again, which we got was your very first card. And sometimes this one, when it comes out with this deck, I always think it's like lean on your friends and kind of like let that partnership help you grow into the person that you are meant to be. Oh my goodness, you really might meet this person at work. Now, the 6 of Pentacles shows me that you are really going to kind of come into like a new sense of harmony, and you're really going to be content with the life that you're kind of creating for yourself. Even if it's a little bit scary and you're kind of like not sure if you want to do this, again, make those waves. You've got it. Ooh, and we've got someone saying they are sorry. We've also got, we've got worry, blame, and I'm sorry. So this could be like just you righting past wrongs and kind of like moving on from the person that really hurt you in the past. Or this could be a symbol that like the person that you're going to be with is someone who has hurt you in the past, and you're kind of moving through that and they're retreating as well. That could be another meaning for what these cards are telling us here. We also have karmic relationships. So yeah, I'm seeing like there's kind of some distance between you and someone else. So definitely let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you, that there's kind of a person that you've had some distance with. And either it could be reuniting because you're really growing apart so you can come together, kind of a thing. Or I'm sensing like there's a person in your life that has just come into your life that really understands, or they're about to in the next 3 months, who really understands this more than you could ever possibly think. And they are going to kind of help you grow even more and move into that next step. We have lost lands. Just, I think you're kind of, what's interesting here is saying you've done this before. So it's almost like you're kind of moving into a new cycle or something like that. And like just to trust yourself and trust that you do know what's right for you. We've also got jump in, adventure, say yes to change, which is funny because we had the 8 of Wands in here before, which could indicate some travel and just kind of like moving through or moving on to a new phase in your life like we've talked about. So let's see if there's anything else. Group number 1 to know about your love life in the next 3 months. Let's see. My goodness, we've got 2 stuck together here. We've got weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. I was getting some vibes that maybe this group is not the best with boundaries, but you can definitely say no to things. I think you often feel a lot of guilt and you don't let things go easily. I think you ruminate and kind of like overthink, especially with what you got with the swords earlier. I think you're definitely an overthinker and you kind of retreat into that and like let people kind of just do whatever. But I think you're really in the next 3 months going to be moving on to boundaries. Like maybe if you're going on dates, like you're not saying yes to absolutely everyone that you match with, or if like someone that you're currently thinking about, or your ex, whoever has been you've been thinking about throughout this reading, just know that like you don't have to carry that weight of the world anymore. You don't have to carry that. Like you can be free. You do not have to think about this person. They helped you grow, or they are going to help you grow, but like you don't have to you don't have to be perfect is really the message I'm getting here. We also have You're Not For Everyone, which is so funny because we had like the self-expression cards that really come out earlier that like your brand of magic may not be for everyone. It literally says embrace your weirdness, face your true north. So again, really finding yourself. I feel like you're going to be finding yourself so that you can really find a solid relationship. What I'm almost getting is like your last relationship was not based on like it was just based on things that weren't solid, and it kind of fell apart. And so just knowing that you're not for everyone, and even if like, you know, you're in a big crowd and you're not getting a lot of attention or something and you feel like you're getting left out, it's just because you're not for everyone, and you're kind of still in that growth phase where you are just becoming you, releasing some of these anxieties, and just letting yourself be, I think is so incredibly important so that you can say yes to these adventures and release this anxiety. So group number 1, I really feel like your love life in the next 3 months has a lot to do with rejuvenating yourself and kind of seeing your own value. And then what is kind of meant for you is going to come through in that. So let me know if this resonated. Also, feel free to watch either of the other piles if you weren't sure in the beginning. But as always, like and subscribe, come back for more readings. And thank you so much for letting me do this one for you. So I'll see you later, and have a great 3 months with your love life. Group number 1. Okay, group number 2, you picked the pyrite, which is really good for manifestation and luck and sometimes money. So let's see what's going to happen in your love life for the next 60 or 90 days, next 3 months-ish. All right. Ooh, we have wait. It's not time yet. Things are being woven. So you might be feeling a little bit of impatience. And then we also have look a little deeper. So that's interesting. So maybe some of you have been feeling like you're ready for things to be moving, either in your relationship. And again, I said this in the first group, but I'll say this one more time. Always take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And this reading is meant for either people who are in a relationship or who are single. So you're kind of going to have to take what it resonates for your situation. So if you are kind of like, I'm almost sensing that you're like ready to take that next step and maybe your person isn't ready just yet. Oh my goodness. We have trust the timing. Time is not running out. So I think like these 3 are really sending quite a strong message just from the beginning of this reading that you might be feeling like time is running out a little bit, and you might be feeling frustrated, or like you're ready to move to a different part of your relationship, or maybe you're trying to find that person and you're feeling really frustrated. The message and the vibe that I'm getting from this group right away is just maybe some frustration at some of the current situation and what's going on. Let's see what else we can get. What is kind of coming up for you in the next 3 months in your love life. Ooh, what's so funny is the Lovers card just tried to come out, but like 3 other cards tried to come out with it. So I'm going to make it have to come back out if it's meant to be. We do have the 8 of Pentacles here, which shows me that you have been really working on things. You've really been manifesting, and you have been, I think, been doing really well in your work arena, but you're kind of looking to do well in the love arena as well. And then what's also interesting is you have the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands, which shows me that you are kind of ready for this next, you're like kind of exactly what's going on here, where it's telling you to wait and trust the timing. Like you're really ready. You're really ready for the next step in what's going on. And I'm feeling like you might need to communicate this. I'm thinking that you're kind of like hoping that other people, like the other person in your relationship, or perhaps, if you're trying to find your person, like you're kind of waiting for them to kind of fill a void that you have right now. And I think you need to communicate even more clearly than you think you are exactly what you want. And you've got the Wheel here, which is pretty interesting. So which is funny because the first group actually got the wheel too. So if you're watching both piles because you were kind of torn, that's pretty interesting that you got it in both in different decks. Where I think sometimes you feel like it's like very one or the other, like it's either like you're on top of the world or things are not going so well in your love life. And it seems to me that maybe you've been kind of like focusing on your work and a little bit less on your love life. But what's nice is I am sensing that there is going to be someone who's going to really come into your life, who is really going to step up and kind of bring this to you pretty quickly, I would say, in the next 3 months. I would say that kind of what you're hoping for, oh my gosh, and we have the 7 of Wands, kind of everything that you have been kind of hoping for and you've been manifesting is going to come to fruition there. And so that's another thing, is I really feel like you have been working on manifesting exactly what you need. Like you haven't been wanting to settle for anything. And I think exactly what this spread is showing us here is that everything that you have kind of been working on is going to come to light and it's going to show itself. And I think just having a little bit more joy and optimism about this, that's what I'm really getting here, because this is a very positive spread that I think you have been waiting for a long time. But since this is a reading about your next 3 months, I do see a person coming into your life in the next 3 months that is going to kind of be everything that you have been trying to manifest. And I think we've got the honesty card, which could have to do with being honest with yourself. It can also like with what, like honest with yourself about what you want. And I think it's also interesting because if you've had someone in the past in a relationship who may have not been honest with you and they may have lied a little bit, then this is quite interesting and a really good sign that your next relationship is going to have quite a bit of honesty. Or if you're already in a relationship, again, take what resonates here. But I think really being forthcoming, again, like I said, maybe you haven't been like fully honest about what you want and you're getting frustrated, but realizing and really looking internally and saying like, am I being honest with myself? Am I being honest with the people that I'm meeting or my person, and like actually telling them what I want instead of just kind of, placating the situation because you want everything to go well, right? And then this is interesting, we got the perseverance card and it says, I know I can do whatever I set my mind to do. And what's interesting here is that wands really truly do have a lot to do with like inspiration and getting what you want. And then you've got the 8 of Pentacles here, which really shows that you'll get what you want as well. You've been working really hard for it. And also humor. So I think not letting yourself get too bogged down by the fact that you don't have the perfect life right now, that maybe you don't have everything that you want. But again, like this card said at the beginning, time is not running out. You have got time. You don't need to worry. And I'm sensing really, really, really good things for your love life in the next 3 months, that you're going to have a lot of this inspiration. And wands tend to also denote that things are going to happen pretty quickly. So I'm sensing that as long as you can kind of be honest with yourself and continue to persevere and really be yourself, then you are really going to be getting exactly what you've been manifesting and have the exact person that you have been manifesting. I couldn't have planned it even better. So what I'm really sensing is all of your hard work is really going to be paying off. And 9 often has to do with like kind of completion. Oh my goodness. And we just got the 9 of Cups as well. So it's like what this spread is telling me is that you are almost there. Like you are so incredibly close to kind of figuring this out. And I almost feel like this is a really good representation of you. Like this little image here of the 9 of Cups, because you're kind of like, you're sitting there, you're like, okay, like I've done all the work, I've worked on myself, like where's my person, what's going on? But the sun shows me exactly what we've been seeing in the other cards, that your person really is going to show up for you in the next 3 months. So if you're not really sure, like if things have been rocky in your relationship and you're not really sure if this person is your person and they're going to show up for you, there are quite happy times ahead. I'm sensing. And then if you're kind of waiting for your person, or you're waiting for a person to kind of like define the relationship that you're in, or you haven't met them yet, the next 3 months are looking incredible for you, group number 2. And that the fact that you are really going to be quite happy with this outcome. Let's see if there's anything else in this deck. Oh, that one did want to come out. Let's see what we've got for you. And we've got the Two of Wands. Okay, so this shows me that this is going to be, it's like partnership and union, and like your person that you are meant to be with is going to appear in your life. Again, more wands, which shows me inspiration. Wands can also sometimes mean like travel or creativity. And this is going to be a really balanced, stabilizing relationship, because I feel like maybe in the past things have been rocky and you've been really truly just trying to like wait and just be the best that you possibly can be. Let's see if we can get any more details about your person. I'm gonna use the Tattoo Tarot deck. Let's see if we can get any details about this person. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see what we've got. Knave of Swords, Eight of Swords, Three of Cups, and Knight of Swords. This one is so interesting because I feel like this is super weird, group number 2. If you happen to watch group number 1, these 3 came out in group number 1, which is so interesting because I shuffled these in between. So I don't know. It's almost like maybe you were meant to watch both piles. Not super sure. If you were like indecisive between this pile and pile number 1, you definitely might want to watch it after this. But what's interesting, what I'm sensing about your person, and this is a little bit of a different meaning than group number 1 because it kind of came out in like a different time, but it's interesting that they're very similar. So what I'm sensing from this is that, because I asked about your person's qualities, what I'm getting here from all of these swords is that this person has gone through quite a bit as well, and they're kind of trying to learn to really develop themselves as well. So it seems like what you've been doing is like you have been waiting, you've been developing yourself, like you're ready, like come on, like ready for your person. But I think what's been taking so long is that both of you have individually had to kind of go down these paths and do the work. And this person, what's so interesting about this is I think this person actually has had quite a bit of anxiety about relationships as well, but their energy seems like they have a hard time expressing it. And I think that all the work that you have done is really going to help them express themselves better, if that makes sense. So I think they've done a lot of work, but when you finally do, you know, have full honesty with each other, if you're already together or if you meet each other, and I think like just what I'm sensing is you're going to be doing more work together, and you're really going to be doing some more development together to kind of ease this anxiety, because what I'm getting is like they've had to do a lot of development and maybe like they haven't been in a relationship in a while or maybe ever, and like they don't know how to guess everything that you're feeling. And what I'm really getting here is, you know, those like toxic, well, I'm going to call them toxic phrases where it's like, if he wanted to, he would, and it's not really necessarily attached to like a masculine, you know, like a man, but maybe just a masculine energy. Like that if he wanted to, he would, that kind of a thing. This person is not going to be able to read your mind. So you are going to have to be really forthcoming and honest with them, even if it seems like, oh, if it's meant to be, they should just know it. That is not the case. You're going to have to really develop together, but that is going to just yield the most amazing relationship you ever could have hoped for. But you are going to have to put in the work and kind of help them with maybe some of the anxieties that they are conquering as well. And it also seems like they have possibly like they've been building something, and they've really been working on their inner selves and their emotions and their thoughts. And you're really going to help them kind of step into the next level in the same way that they're going to help you, if that makes sense. So it's going to be a partnership in a lot of senses. Your soul shines. So now I'm going to kind of ask for cards of what it's going to look like for you two together. This one came out before I finished that sentence. Your soul shines. So true happiness, the spark of the hustle, which again, I think this shows that you both have quite strong passions in life, and you're going to kind of help each other understand it and be able to be each other's partners and kind of like help with your individual projects. We've got fearless expression, and we have in balance. So again, I think like really truly not being afraid to speak your mind and tell them what's going on. We've got 5-5 in case you're seeing 5-5 or 5-5-5 in case that's your number. Let me know. I feel like that's a number that might really be like locking in this reading for you. And not being afraid to speak your truth. I feel like, again, some people in the past have made you feel like you can't be honest, or you've just kind of had to say, well, you know, like what I want isn't really that important. Like I can sacrifice these things, or I don't have to say everything. But I think you are truly going to be able to shine with this person, and same with them, you know, where they can really be honest with you, even if it's not fun all the time. That's what I'm really sensing, is that you and this person are going to be able to work through things. And even if it's not like perfect or fun all the time, you know, that's okay, because you're working through this together and you're going to have true balance with this person. Because you are really just going to be able to have that partnership that you have been looking for, and you've been creating separately, but now you're going to create together. I'm just going to pull a couple more cards. I feel like we're almost done with this reading, but I just want to see if there's anything else that you need to know about your love life in the next 3 months. Anything that will help you to kind of work through this and be brave to get to what you need. Let's see. All right, we've got potential, bring your unconscious gift to light. We've got you're not alone. So I think like this group, you definitely feel like you might be alone, like you're the friend in the group who's single or something, or who like doesn't have that connection, but we're really seeing like your mirror image is going to be coming in the next 3 months. And again, what's interesting is you picked the pyrite, which is really good for manifestation. So keep manifesting, group number 2. Keep trying to bring this into your life, and it is going to appear, and it is going to be worth the wait. It is going to be worth the risk. Don't overthink it. I think you kind of do that a lot, but just know that there will be some changes. And then I'm also wondering if your person, it says like you, the muse. I'm almost wondering if your person is going to be an artist, especially because you got so many wands. So either you might be the artist, they might be the artist, but I think like this is going to launch you into a new era of creativity. So in the next 90 days, next 3 months, things are looking really good for your love life. Just don't overthink it. Keep manifesting, let it happen, and make sure you're communicating group number 2. And I think you've got some really good messages here. So thank you again for letting me do this reading. Feel free to watch any of the other piles if you felt like you needed to kind of get another message. If you were stuck between a couple of the piles, and definitely like and subscribe and come back for more readings very soon. So see you later, group number 2. Have a great day. All right, so group number 3, let's see what's in store for your love life in the next 3 months, 90 days. And you picked the sodalite, which is interesting because it has a lot to do with trust. So let's see if you are kind of working on trust in your love life in the next 90 days. Okay, so overrate your intuition. So that means I'm wondering if there's a little bit here where you need to kind of trust yourself a little bit more. And just know, I know this one says overrate your intuition. So, and it has a 2 on it. So if you've been seeing 2s a lot, or kind of this eye symbol, almost matches my channel symbol, but, really trusting your intuition and knowing that like, you know best in your love life in the next 3 months. And just like, maybe you haven't been trusting your intuition as much as you should. We've got one step ahead is all you need. And we also have lead your metamorphosis. So I'm definitely sensing some change here, but I'm sensing don't go too quickly and don't feel like you need to rush things. So I think trust yourself, and things are going to change, but you only need to like just take one step in the right direction. Let's see. We've also got to make a mission statement for your soul. So really be making a mission for what you want, and really be thinking about how you are. Like, are you trusting yourself? Are you listening to your intuition? Let's see. Let's get like some specifics here on what might be going on with your love life in the next 90 days. What does group 3 need to know? That one came out. Oh, both of these came out quite quickly. Okay. So what I'm getting is you have been overthinking quite a bit. You have had quite a bit of anxiety. You had possibly some deception or betrayal in the past. I don't know if this is, again, I'll tell this group, I said it at the beginning of the other two. This reading is whether you are in a relationship or single. It's just kind of take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And you can always watch the other piles too if you are feeling slightly like, torn between them. You can always feel free to watch another one because you might have messages in both piles. But really what I'm sensing here is that, I'm trying to get these all in here because I want you to be able to see the beautiful artwork on here and really be able to kind of get the messages. So what I'm getting here definitely with the Eight of Swords is that you have been doing some overthinking, and you've kind of been like trapped in your own mind about something. Like there's something that's bothering you, either with the person that you're already with, or you're searching for it, and it has really been like causing you some anxiety. And I feel like you almost feel like you've had to live a double life because of it. And like pretend like you're okay. But what I'm sensing is you are really not okay, and you really need to be able to express yourself, because something has happened that's kind of caused you to like retreat into your mind a little bit. I think you're worried about deception. You're worried about repeating past, like I'm getting like relationship failures. But in the next 3 months, I think you're really going to get some serenity when it comes to these emotions. So don't worry, like I'm really getting the vibe that there's been a big upset in your love life lately, or there's something that you're really frustrated about. But what I'm getting here, definitely from the King of Cups, is that you're going to work through it essentially. Let's see how you're going to work through it. Let's get a sense of kind of what's going to happen here for you in the next 3 months. Ooh, okay. So we've got surrender and we've got doubt. So it's either doubt in yourself or doubt in your person, or like someone made you doubt everything that you knew. And I think it's kind of turned you into a little bit of a control freak because it's hard for you to kind of surrender that control a little bit. But what's so interesting is look at this King of Cups. Look how like serene and free he looks. And then the colors of these even kind of are similar, and you are going to have freedom. So it almost seems like we kind of get your current situation, and then we get like how this is going to work out for you. So right now, if you, group number 3, are feeling just kind of stuck and like unsure about what's going to happen with your relationship or in your love life in the next 3 months, do not worry. There is going to be success. There is going to be freedom if you can just kind of surrender and see kind of what goes on, and what has been happening. You are going to have acceptance, even though you might have some adversity, which seems like that's kind of what's been happening, that you have had these challenges, and just kind of accepting that these aren't things you cannot change. I don't think that I think you've been kind of putting on yourself that you have been responsible for what happened. And I think just kind of accepting like there are things that you cannot change, that were not your fault. And you cannot force the future, essentially. So just kind of using these challenges to propel you forward instead of, keeping you stuck in this anxiety, because I'm sensing so much inner turmoil, so much anxiety, so much not feeling like yourself. But what's amazing is in the next 3 months, you are going to really turn over a new leaf and kind of have more strength mentally than you have had. And that anxiety is, you're going to be like kind of battling that, kind of getting through it. And you're really going to be a little bit more creative. You're going to be kind of doing the work on yourself. And I think finding a creative outlet, something that you enjoy, that kind of maybe you've had in the back of your mind. I'm sensing that it's like I'm sensing you just kind of like not feeling like your time is well spent because you've been worrying so much and you've been so concerned about the future because of the past. And it's almost like, I feel like you almost want to fall back into old ways, or I'm almost sensing like get back with your ex or a person that wasn't good for you because, they kind of gave you some stability, and you're like, well, I'd rather have that than just be like completely floating around, like not knowing what's going to happen in my life. But just know that I think that creative outlet that I almost sense you like started it, and you liked it for a little bit, but then you got distracted. I'm sensing that that's really going to give you some more balance. Ooh, for sure. Okay, we got King of Wands. This really shows me that that is going to help with your anxiety, and it's really going to help balance you as a person so that you're ready to kind of balance your love life, because I think that what I'm getting is you're not even 100% sure what you want. And so you have a hard time kind of putting out into the universe what you actually want because you're not entirely sure. So I think being able to, this is so interesting, you got Page of Swords and now you're getting Page of Cups, really is turning over a new leaf with these emotions and kind of accepting what has happened to you in the past or what's happened to you with this person. And really being able to start fresh is going to be really, really good for you. It's so funny. Then we have 6 of Pentacles here, which shows me that you are going to have in the next 90 days a lot of contentment, a lot of harmony, and you're going to have people around you. And I think also looking to the people around you, and it's so funny that I just said that because you've got 3 of Cups, really looking to people around you who do make you feel good and leaning into the people who feel like they develop you is going to lead to a person who is really going to be able to be there for you and kind of be able to work on things with you and give you a fresh start emotionally. So if you're already with this person, I think, again, really leaning on the people around you and working on your creative outlets and everything. But I'm almost sensing that this is like, you just need a fresh start and you've been a little frustrated. Like, I don't know if you've been on dating apps or something like that where things have just felt really frustrating and you're like, oh, should I just go back to my ex because like this just isn't working? That's what I'm almost getting. If this isn't resonating for you, feel free to watch maybe the pile that you were like secondarily interested in, but I feel like this is a pretty specific message for a certain person or certain people. So this one might be like a smaller subset of you guys, but I really almost just sense that like you've almost lost hope and you like want to fall back into your old ways and you've been really, really feeling anxious about this. But what this shows me is that there is a person who is kind of out there waiting for you. Oops. My goodness. These ones really wanted to come out. There's a person out there who is going to kind of not only be able to help you work through this communication and work through this anxiety, but they are actually going to really help you kind of like decide what is, like, what does love really look like to you? Because I think in the past, like, you think you've been in love, but I'm not sure if those people have treated you well or have been who you needed them to be. And I almost am sensing it was just like something you did because you were hoping things would get better, or hoping for things and like hoping for success, but they weren't really almost willing to work on it. But what I'm sensing is in the next 3 months, you are definitely, if you don't meet them in the next 3 months, I know that you are like going to change yourself to be able to work toward this. And like they are truly going to help you kind of see yourself in a new light and not have that kind of hopeless situation going on. But this may require some time for you to kind of be alone and be reflecting on these things. And I think that's the thing that you hate the most. So going back to that 8 of Pentacles, kind of getting that creative energy out and doing something where you're kind of changing your energy. That's really what I'm getting here. I think that you sometimes don't want to be by yourself. And so you can jump from person to person and kind of be like, I don't know, this sounds really bad, but like cheapening your energy by kind of giving it away to whoever will give you attention, kind of a thing. And I hope you don't take that in a bad way, group number 3. But I think just knowing your value and kind of going within and being okay with being alone and being yourself is going to lead to you having true happiness and actually feeling like you are the main character in your life and really getting to know you. Because I almost feel like you haven't even really gotten to know yourself that much because you have been too busy focusing on other people and just kind of like getting that attention. But again, these keep coming up, where I really think that this person who is meant for you, who is going to help you kind of feel more like yourself, like you have to do the work and find yourself first. and then they're going to come into your life. And I was going to actually ask, my next question in my head was kind of like, what's the timeline? And what's interesting is we got 4 here, which is like they're going to bring stability into your life, but it actually might be, I'm sensing it's very close. Like you might meet them in the next 4 months. So this is a timeless reading, so just kind of do whatever 4 months from now is. If you are doing the hard work, I know that this is like a 3 months from now reading, but I'm sensing that it's just going to take you a little bit longer. And I know that might be disappointing and not really what you want to hear. But what I'm sensing is it's going to be really worth the wait for you. And I'm sensing like next 4 months are going to be super transformative for you. And I think you might meet them in the next 4 months, or you kind of might figure out what's going on. And this is interesting. We got big picture thinking, because when I said like next 4 months, I feel like you guys were like, oh, seriously? Like I've been waiting so long, but it really, I think you just need to do this self-work and be thinking about the bigger picture and not be so focused on like every single day feeling anxiety and like wondering what's going to happen. Like letting go is a really difficult thing. But again, that creative energy just keeps coming back. This literally says artist, manifestation, creative, accountability. I think like knowing that you can kind of manifest and like change your vibration to be something that is going to attract that right person into your life, and really like not feeling like you have to just, I don't know, settle. I'm getting like energy of like settling a little bit. We've got harmony and balance, a messenger coming in, and I think like, oh, this is interesting. What we just got is cracked open. So it almost feels like maybe you've kind of been like, I'm getting like waves, like you've had kind of big up and downs, and you kind of hit a little bit of like a rock bottom. But what's interesting is this one says surrender to the alchemy of life. So it's almost like you need to, again, be creating things, be changing your vibration to attract this person in. And the next 4 months will be really transformative. This one says baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. So even if it doesn't make sense to you, just try some new things. That's really what I'm getting, is that you are trying to like force things, and what you really need to do is just kind of let things happen. And let's see if I can get some information about your person. Like what's going on with your person right now? And what do we need to know about them? Ooh, okay. Fierce serenity. We've got a lion on there. We've got the number 8. So they might even be a Leo. Got some Leo energy, where like they're going to bring serenity into your life, where it's felt like a little bit of chaos. We've got creator air, so they might be an air sign as well. They're not a Leo. I don't know if you're a Leo, if you're an air sign. But I'm sensing like one of these is you, one of them is them. Prosperity sisters are happiness and joy. So really bringing that happiness and joy into your life to bring the prosperity of this person to you. And here, I'm going to ask this deck a little bit about your person. Let's see if Light Seers will give us some information. What does group number 3 need to know? What characteristics do their person, or does their person kind of possess? Okay, 7 of Pentacles. So like they're really working on their own growth as well, which is fantastic, because they're just only going to help you. Let's see. Ooh, okay, and we've got strength. I feel like between this card and this card, there really might be some Leo energy, because look at this. They're both 8s, and they both have like kind of that lion energy. So I feel like someone is a Leo. I feel like this person is going to be fiercely loyal to you. Like loyalty is really important. It's something that you haven't found. And I think like they are going to be a little bit out of the box from people that you have met in the past. So I think like changing up your usual type is going to be really important, and they're going to be really romantic and like kind of do some gestures for you that you haven't had in the past. So I think overall, group number 3, you've got a really positive message. Just like, don't let yourself get too anxious. Don't let yourself get too in the way of these things, and do not worry. Time is not running out for you. Just keep the path steady. Let some of that creative energy out. Try some new things. I think you might meet them while you are trying to do something new. And if this pile didn't resonate as much for you, then feel free to watch the other ones. Or if you were just kind of indecisive, feel free to go watch the other ones. And as always, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment with what resonated below, because I always like connecting with you guys. And I will see you again soon for another reading. Hope you have a fantastic next 3 months and your love life is looking positive. Stay positive with the outlook, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.